Hello everybody and happy Saturday afternoon. Today is February 9th and this is my official My Palfish Journey and New Year's Goal video contest. So I want to say first, thank you guys so much for supporting what I'm doing here on the YouTube channel, and I'm going to try to summarize in the next 3 to 5 minutes as best as I can how I found Palfish, how it's made an impact in my life, how my students are making an impact in my life, and where I'm going to take my career with Palfish in the future. So first of all, back in 2016, I was not stranded on an island, but I was living on an island, and I was actually not teaching. I had taken a break from teaching, and I was learning how to do organic farming on a little island called Little Corn Island in Nicaragua, in the Caribbean. And it was not only a wonderful experience, but towards the end, I started to feel, I had these instincts in me that this is great, but this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. And at the same time, I was only getting $400 per month. My food and accommodation, yes, it was taken care of, but $400 a month is not really cutting the mustard compared to days like today. And, so I started to feel that I needed to get off the island. So what do? I start doing searches on Google, teaching English online, teaching English on iPhone, because what ended up happening was I had to sell my MacBook to get the bus ticket in order to go to Nicaragua. So I had to let go of my laptop and started to go all mobile. And I'm happy I did, because it made a big difference with becoming more adapted on a small mobile device. So one day I found Palfish on a Google search. I didn't know a lot about it. I didn't know anything about it actually. And everything kind of seemed like a different, it was not sketchy, but it was like something that you didn't really know. And it's like, what is this Palfish thing? I've never heard of anything like this. And it sounded like too good to be true. That's what I wanted to say, not sketchy. It sounded like too good to be true. So back in the day when Palfish was just starting, back in 2016, we had to go through some different ways to get onto the application. But once I finally got onto the application, I'll never forget my first phone call. I was on a beanbag chair, no video. The internet was not very strong. It was at nighttime and I couldn't have the lights on because it was in a hostel. And I'm sitting there in the corner trying to talk to someone, and this person, my first student that called me, just how are you, where are you, what are you doing, and just stuff like that. Where are you from and how old you are. And I was like, when I finished the phone call, because the internet connection was not that great at the time, and when I got off the phone, I looked and I said, whoa, I got like $2. Like, this is so cool, like I couldn't believe it. And literally in the next less than 2 weeks, it was like 10 days, I was off the island and I was back in the USA in a place called Boulder, Colorado. Now, during my time in Boulder, Colorado, I started to become more familiar with Palfish, started flipping on the video sometimes, and developing a good relationship and trust with many students, children, high school, university, and even moms and dads and parents, and even some grandpa and grandparents. Now, when I was in Colorado, I started to realize that there was a lot of opportunity with teaching in China, in Asia, in general. So lo and behold, as time started to tick, some of my students were saying, why don't you just come over to China? You could get a great English teaching job. And I said, well, I've never really thought about that, because my time had mostly been in Latin America, and I had never, 29, 28 years old, I had never even been over to Asia yet. So it was very far, it was quite expensive, but destiny had found me on Palfish. So I was able to I actually borrowed the money. Someone that I had met in Costa Rica, this one student that I had, he barely even knew me. And this last year I finished paying him off and I paid him a little bit extra. But it's amazing when you reach out to people, you never know what might happen. My dad always told me the answer is always no until you ask. So I asked and I got $700. I got the one-way ticket from Colorado all the way over to Hong Kong. Now, when I get to Hong Kong, first thing I realize is, wow, I'm on the same time zone. And it was much more convenient not waking up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get the call and stuff like that. And by the way, guys, this is before the official course. This is all free talk and hustle and drive and motivation and putting yourself out there to market yourself. So when I got over there to Hong Kong and I was on the same time zone, I still was just using it as a little bit of free talk. It was not until November 2016 when I got off another island and I came here to Chiang Mai and to this condo right here. This is where the magic really happened. This is where the true magic happened, where this incredible transformation in just 2 years took place in my life. And it's all because of Palfish. And so when I went on full-time November 2016, I was nervous. I was waiting by the phone. I had my rate. It was like really, really cheap, you know. But when I started to go full-time, my teaching hours went up and I was responsible. I remained consistent with an open schedule Monday through Sunday. And I really cared. I mean, my background is elementary education. I've been teaching and coaching since I'm 15, 16 years old. So I truly found what I'd love to do. I love teaching at schools, but something about teaching English online, the freedom, the flexibility, and that one-on-one connection that you get with your students, I really, really enjoy. Now, next thing. When I went from November 2016, I had only made like a little over, I barely broke $1,000. And then in December, it went up. And then January, it was in January, I remember New Year's Day waking up as for my 7 or 7:30 in the morning class, and I said, this is the year I'm going to make it happen. This is the moment. This is the time. And I said, I'm going to lay the smackdown on 2017. And I did. I really did. And I'm not like being arrogant in that way, because I want you guys to realize that you should be believing in yourself. You should be confident and speaking confident and believing in confidence, because when you do, you're going to put yourself on a whole new level. You don't have to be arrogant. You don't have to brag. But when you start to believe in yourself and you have that confidence and you start speaking with it, you're going to see your life change day by day, piece by piece. So I saw in 10 years of my 20s, I had all these dreams of doing things, and finally at 30 years old, to fully get access to an application. First of all, I want to say that like the Palfish staff has been incredibly helpful, supportive, and encouraging in every way possible, and fair and equal. That's what I really enjoy about Palfish, is that they're fair across the board for their teachers. And what I want to say is, in 2016, when I was just like getting started, I also went to China 4 times in 2017. I went to Beijing. I didn't get to see the Palfish team. It was like one of these, first of all, it was a lot of traffic. It was my first day in Beijing. And then the office was going on a training. So I didn't even get to see the Palfish team the one time that I had come to Beijing. The next time I went to Chengdu, I had some time in Kunming, and then of course in Lijiang. And I recommend all the teachers out there watching right now, even if you're not on Palfish, if you're just getting started with teaching English abroad, well, first of all, you need to get on Palfish. And I really recommend that you guys take a trip to China. Number one, once you're there, you're going to have a totally different type of relationship and connection with your students. That's number one. Number two, you're also going to understand the culture. You're going to understand the scheduling. You're going to understand what people are doing every day when you're walking around, how people eat, the food that they eat, and the diversity of different types of food through all the different provinces in China. It's really fascinating. And it's, you know, it's one thing if you're teaching students all day from China, But it's another thing once you've actually been there and you have your 2 feet on the mainland. Because again, once you do that, not only is your life going to completely change, but you're going to open up another door and show students, existing students and new potential students, that you're actually interested. You genuinely care about the culture and learning about the culture. Learning how to read and write Chinese has been a huge benefit to my teaching career. And there's been many moments where if I didn't even know just a few basic expressions or how to write a few things, I probably would not have been booked for extra classes. I probably would not have gained the reputation and the respect that I have gotten on Palfish. Because as soon as I started posting videos, when I was doing some of the Chinese calligraphy, as soon as I went to China, it was like this explosion on my Palfish. My hours, the amount of people starting to follow, the people coming to my live shows, the people that are watching my video moments to learn how to improve on their pronunciation. So really, I mean, so many things happened in 2017. And then, boom, last year, 2018, a little bit more mature, a little bit more knowledgeable about how things go. And then the official kids course was in full swing. So 2018 was a great year where I learned more balance, more patience, and also I think that one of the most important things that I've learned is, yes, consistency is the answer. You have to be consistent. Parents want consistency. But I also strongly encourage you guys to pace yourself. Today, you know, I'm just getting back up to speed. I was super sick last week. There's been a couple times where I have overworked myself. I wouldn't call it a burnout. I would just call it overworking. So you have got to take time to self-care. Okay, teachers, make sure you take time to give yourself that self-care, because when you come back into that lesson, you're going to be more energetic, more enthusiastic, and the kids can see it on your face, and you never know who's watching. Mom, dad, grandpa, grandma. So you always want to be 100% presentable as best as you can and have high performance and really show that you care. Because there was, for example, a class that I had yesterday with a student where he made a little pronunciation mistake. Perhaps maybe a lot of teachers would just roll over it and say next page. But I'm not that kind of teacher, because maybe it's a good thing, because it's kind of like a pet peeve. Like when someone says something like pronunciation wise really wrong, or even just a little bit, something sparks off inside of me and I'm like, ugh, no, we're gonna fix that. And when I took the time, the parent I heard, because the class was in the car that day, they were in the car driving, and then the parent, I heard them practice with me. So the parent was actually an English teacher. So you might have that sometimes where their mom, mostly their mom, could be their dad too, might be an English teacher, and they might be listening. And if you're just halfway engaged, lukewarm, then what's going to get that parent to believe and trust and have the audacity to continue having classes and book and pay for you as their child's teacher? So these are things that you've got to start realizing, and I'm happy that I've become much more mature on Palfish. I've made lots of mistakes, and I've actually uploaded many videos about the mistakes that I've made so other teachers don't have to make those same mistakes. And also, it's a great way to see how much you can grow and how much I've grown and how much we're growing together. Because look, sometimes, you know, a lot of teachers will get kind of caught up in the group chats with, oh no, they're commenting on my student and they're liking my students reading books. There's no need to play that game. We're all in this together. We're all in it together. And the more that we focus on our student that we have right in front of our face, it's just going to be better for you, better for the student, and better for Palfish. And I think that's the whole thing that you guys have to understand as we move forward for the future of Palfish, is that there's a huge range and diversity of students, the student population on Palfish, and there's also a lot of teachers. Anytime that I've gotten too wrapped up in, oh wow, this teacher's got a lot more hours, or wow, this teacher got a couple more classes booked. Look, I've been there, okay? I've done it too. I'm not here to criticize or to be a hypocrite. We all fall into that stuff because of our mind, right? But it's important to catch ourselves and realize what's important right now. What's important is me articulating my voice, me looking in a very presentable manner and using my body language, and not just, okay, good job. We're not playing that. You need to have genuine. That's what I think is so important is parents will see through your skin. Parents will see through your facade, right? So it's important that you are real and true to your own character, okay? Sometimes, yeah, I act goofy and I act fun and I might say, like, good job, there's a star, like if it's like a younger student. We have fun, we joke around like that. That's okay. But it's a difference when you see one face and then the next minute it's a different face. So it's important to be genuine as possible. So Palfish has changed my life. It's enabled me to start a new life. I have a brand new car. I'm going to start making a new house this year. There's just so many things that I really wish I could just give like a huge hug to everybody in Beijing, and I wish I could just tell everybody right now, all the teachers on Palfish, you have literally the best job ever. So never take it for granted. Every day you wake up, be grateful that you have the ability to get onto an application like Palfish. Some people dream about it. Some people, they can't get on. So if you are on, you need to take it full with gratitude and thankfulness that you actually were able to get onto Palfish. And I would say that my goal for 2019 is to remain balanced. I know that's not sound so exciting, but after being super sick and you're spending a lot of time with your eyes, with the blue light coming off, you need to take care of your eyes. You need to have an orange light on your phone. And I don't use glasses, but I will change the color on my phone sometimes if my eyes are bothering me. So this is my goal. And this should be a goal for everybody, because when you're balanced, you perform better, you teach better, you instruct more effectively, and you can engage students. And then at the same time, you're going to be better for the long term. It's not good if you just power in tons of classes for 6 months and then I can't do it anymore. It's happened to me. So balance, that's my main focus for 2019, is enjoying every class, not really trying to focus on the minutes, but just being there with the student, breathing. I got acupuncture done today, so that's caused me to go and move with more patience and to move with more flow. So when you're in the lesson, make sure to remember to breathe, to relax. You are the leader of the class. You are in control of the class. So we need strong leaders, wise leaders, and patience, okay? And I think I pretty much touched everything on that. So if you guys would love to support this video, give it a thumbs up. I would really greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to my Palfish journey, my Palfish story. I also gave a lot of great tips. I mean, if you just listen to a few things that I said in this video, you could apply it into your in-class teaching, and you should be able to, have shining stars lighting up the way and get more bookings. I do have teacher trainings. I have another one tomorrow night. There's still one spot open. And I just really enjoy helping people, because knowing that someone is now earning income that they didn't have otherwise, that's what it's all about. And that's what makes making these videos even more enjoyable and rewarding. That's the way. So Palfish, thank you. Teachers, thank you. Of course, to the parents and students, big hugs. Thank you so much for providing me with a new lease on life. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I could go for another hour and just sit here and talk about Palfish and my students and classes and how to get better and how to improve. But time is valuable. And thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. I truly appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and keep teaching, keep smiling, and keep moving forward. that's it for now, and I'll be back with another YouTube video very soon. Thank you guys so much. Have the best day of your life, and make 2019 the best year ever. And go Palfish, let's go.